What's going on, guys? Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you another deck on Pokemon TCGO, and today I am bringing you a deck centered around Tauros-GX with the combination of Yveltal and Garbodor, basically just another version of the previous best deck in format. And before I get into the deck, just a reminder that if you guys liked this video or found it helpful, please leave a like, drop a comment, and maybe subscribe. It really does help us out a lot and lets us do more for you guys. And as for the question of the day, by the end of before the introduction of Sun and Moon, there was no doubt, virtually no doubt, that Yveltal Garbodor was the best deck in the format. I mean, that thing was just taking top spots at almost every single major competition once people had discovered it. And, I mean, really just a ridiculously powerful deck. And so much so that a deck that was specifically designed to counter it became very, very meta and became a very popular choice and a viable choice to place well at competitions, and that was the Zebstrika Vespiquen deck. So really, no doubt, almost no doubt, that Yveltal Garbodor was the best deck in the format. But with the introduction of Sun and Moon, you had plenty of new things that were introduced. A lot of the... Well, a big thing was Stage 2s with the evolutions becoming a big thing with Umbreon, Espeon, also like Lurantis and stuff like that. So really, a lot more things came up that could handle Yveltal or take it on. But my question of the day is, how do you guys think Yveltal Garbodor, or versions of Yveltal Garbodor, how do you think those will fare in the new format? If I'm being completely honest, I think Yveltal Garbodor will still be a very, very, very strong deck, just because Evil Ball and Y Cyclone are so ridiculously powerful. And then you have a couple of new cards that seamlessly fit into the deck that can help with different matchups. I mean, you have the Umbreon deck that I showcased as soon as Sun and Moon came out, which helps with like the Jolteon matchup and stuff like that. And then you also have Tauros-GX, which is what I am showcasing this deck around, which you're already running 4 DCE anyway. Tauros is such a splashable card to be able to, I mean, Ninja Boy into, even just set up there, take attacks, hit for constant damage with Horn Attack, hit for bigger damage when damaged with Rage and Mad Bull GX, and then you have the Umbreon version with Dark Call and stuff like that. And honestly, I think that this deck just got stronger, because while Baby Yveltal the Fright Knight got hit quite a bit with the fact that GXs are more popular and Pitch Black Spear does not hit them, well, all that means is you run a couple fewer of those, run more Yveltal and a couple of the Tauros or Umbreon or whatever you want to pair it with. Also, abilities have become so much more important with the evolutions, like I said. Also, Vileplume, Item Lock, and then also the Feather Arrow from Decidueye, to where Garbodor can just be like, yeah, your ability-reliant deck, I'm just going to shut that thing down right now. So I think that this deck will still be very, very, very strong in the Sun and Moon meta with the obvious adjustments for the Sun and Moon cards. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below and why. I would love to hear what you guys think. But anyway, like I said, this is obviously just another version of Yveltal Garbodor with Tauros. I found this on, I believe it was I found this version on PokeBeach and thought this was way too cool of a deck to pass up. Also, there are 24 ticket tournaments going on, which, I mean, I wanted to bring the best deck that I could to it, so I decided to just go ahead and enter Tauros in it. And I'll be honest, I'm narrating the deck list after I had already played in the tournament. I was feeling pretty sick over the weekend that the tournaments were being held. However, I could not pass up the opportunity to record a new deck in a 24-ticket tournament, so I went ahead and participated in the tournament, live narrated the entire thing, but just saved the deck list for later because obviously I was feeling pretty badly and just decided not to do it. So I apologize. I'm narrating the deck list after I already participated in the tournament, but I just want to let you guys know the reason I'm doing this deck so soon after doing the Umbreon deck is because I had a chance to participate in a 24-ticket tournament. I wanted to bring the best deck that I possibly could to increase my odds of winning it. And this was a really cool Sun and Moon meta deck. that I decided to just go ahead and test out because I hadn't really centered it around Tauros. I mean, kind of with TCGO, but I hadn't given Tauros its full opportunity to shine in a super meta deck, so that's what I decided to go with. But as for the Pokemon, running 2 Shaymin just for setup, 2 Tauros because you can play one down, and then Ninja Boy for another one. Only 1 Baby Yveltal because of all the GXs running around. Pitch Black Spear can't hit those guys, but then again, Pitch Black Spear can still snipe down Shaymin for 60, so this guy is definitely worth using in the deck. And then the centerpiece, Yveltal-EX, 2 phenomenal attacks, Evil Ball just powering up, hitting for obscene amounts of damage, and then Y Cyclone being able to conserve energy when Yveltal gets damaged, and with Fighting Fury Belt, Yveltal is not going to be going down in one hit, so you can use Y Cyclone to conserve energy pretty effectively. And then also 2-2 of Trubbish and Garbodor. Garbodor can win matchups on his own. Just, I mean, ability lock is so ridiculous. As for the items, 1 Enhanced Hammer to help with the mirror match a little bit. Just be like, okay, I want to set you back 1 DCE, 1 attachment, be able to hit for, be able to last a little bit longer. And then the 1 Tech Enhanced Hammer just is great for being like, okay, I'm up against an Yveltal that's getting a little scary. I'm just going to get rid of that DCE, force my opponent to have an attachment later, and hopefully put myself in an advantageous position from there. 4 Max Elixir to help power up all 3 of these guys. Usually you're going to be Ninja Boying into a Tauros, however you can play it onto the bench and then manually attach, that's always an option. However, usually you want to Ninja Boy into it, but Max Elixir is for the 2 Yveltals. Super Rod in case you overextend just a little bit to put some stuff back. 3 Trainers Mail, couldn't find a place to work for into the deck just because this deck was so packed to begin with, but all of the cards are necessary. 4 Ultra Ball to guaranteed get what we want, when we want. 4 VS Seeker to reuse all of our supporters, and then as for the supporters, we have my traditional 4-2 of N and Sycamore. You have 2 Lysandre, just again, I've always been running, well, I haven't always been running, but I've been running 2 Lysandre in every deck that I can find the room lately, so yeah, 2 Lysandre. And then the 2 Tech supporters we are running is Kukui. Kukui is really, really nice for just 20 extra damage. Like, being able to one-shot a Shaymin with a Y Cyclone is really, really nice. Being able to hit for, like, being able to just get a little bit more damage while also drawing cards helps out in so many different ways. It helps out with the math in mirror matches, all of that. Basically, it's just like playing an extra energy for Evil Ball, but also getting extra 2 cards off of it, drawing as well. So Kukui, great, great, great option in this deck. And then the combination with Tauros that makes this deck so powerful, Ninja Boy. So really, why this deck is so good in a lot of cases and why Tauros is such a good fit with Yveltal. Yveltal is not going to be going down in one hit in the vast majority of cases. I mean, 170 HP is pretty bulky, but Fighting Fury Belt that thing up, it's all of a sudden at 210. Very, very, very difficult to one-shot. So your opponent's going to have to damage that thing in order to 2-shot it. So let's just say my opponent puts 110 damage, the minimum number needed to 2-shot. Well, all of a sudden, if you're staring down a very, very scary opponent, like a Mega Mewtwo with a bunch of energy on it, or just something else that you cannot OHKO and is a huge danger to your team, to the rest of your setup, what you can do, Ninja Boy that Yveltal out into a Tauros because you're gonna have 2 energy on that Yveltal anyway. Go out into Tauros, Mad Bull GX, just delete that threat completely, or you can even Rage if you have even more HP on it. So basically, you just turn a very damaged Yveltal into an incredibly dangerous Tauros that it's just able to Mad Bull GX, absolutely wipe something off of the board, or Rage if you already used Mad Bull GX, which still can do a crap load of damage in some cases. So Ninja Boy, the Ninja Boy combination makes this deck ridiculously strong. 3 Fighting Fury Belt give longevity to Tauros and Yveltal-EX. 3 Float Stones for Garbodor, and also if you need to throw it on a Shaymin or something else that you want to have free retreat on. Basically running 3 Float Stones just because Float Stone's great in itself, but you also want to guaranteed have one when you need one to throw onto a Trubbish. 4 DCEs, everything in this deck runs on DCE, so you want to run the max number of those, and then 9 Darkness to be able to hit Max Elixir when we need to. So yeah, very straightforward deck. Very, well, it literally is just Yveltal Garbodor with Tauros thrown in. And honestly, Tauros just makes this deck incredibly scary. But don't take my word for it. I'm going to go ahead and hop into a 24... Well, I'm not going to go ahead. I already did, but just, you know what, bear with me. Let's pretend that I'm narrating this, that I wasn't sick when I was doing the tournament. So just pretend with me that I am now going to hop into a 24 ticket match. Again, guys, I apologize that I'm not doing this deck list before the tournament. Again, just felt really sick and wanted to take advantage of a 24 ticket tournament, but just didn't feel good enough after to be able to do the deck list. So yeah, now you're going to see me in a 24 ticket tournament. Yeah, there we go. Let's do this. Well, in the immortal words of the Joker, here we go. Just gotta scroll through my 50 bajillion decks to the very last one. Of course it is, and yeah, there's only 3 people in here, so I'm just gonna pause the video until we are closer to starting this tournament. Alright, we are now at 7 players, so this tournament should begin at any point, and we are in this. Our first match is against Juaki, yeah, I think it's Juaki 666. I know I said that the exact same way twice. Don't know why I bother trying to pronunciate it differently, or pronunciate it. Wow, I is good at English. Try to pronounce it differently. We do win the coin flip. We do get to go first, and boy. Well, if I can get a another basic, then this hand is pretty solid. And alright, we're up against a CLO deck. This is what you run into sometimes in the first round of tournaments, because there's really no quality control over what you face in round 1. I mean, rounds 2 and 3, your opponent has to at least win a game to get there, but round 1, anybody can enter as long as they have the tickets, so you really just kind of get whatever comes to you. And alright, so I get a Shaymin. What I think I'm actually going to do, because I have... Yeah, I'm going to play the DCE first, and then maybe my opponent will end me, and I can get some other stuff, because what I can do next turn is just immediately attach the Darkness Energy from my hand to hit the Lugia for more damage. But what I'm holding on to is the fact that because this is a Ninja Boy deck, I can potentially play the Shaymin down and then Ninja Boy for Ninja Boy into a Tauros or another Yveltal. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Play the Shaymin down. I'm not going to get any cards, but I'm going to try to double Max Elixir, see if I can get any energy onto it. Whiff the first one, and I whiffed the second one. So completely wasted double Max Elixir right there. I really should have just gotten rid of the Shaymin, but you can't predict not getting Max Elixirs, so there's that. But I am going to Ultra Ball immediately, get rid of the... let's get rid of the Enhanced Hammer, because if my opponent plays a DCE onto the Lugia, then I'm going to be knocking it out next turn anyway. But yeah, let's grab a Trubbish, play that down there, and go for an Evil Ball. Just get this Lugia closer to be knocked out. And yeah, so very uneventful first couple turns. My opponent just played a Lugia and attached a single energy. I played an Yveltal. I have a DCE and a Darkness onto it. I can put another Darkness on it next turn. And we see the Freshwater. So it's very obvious what type of deck we are going up against. And oh boy, there's a Manectric. So what I am going to do, play the energy, play the Fighting Fury Belt onto the Shaymin, play the DCE onto my Yveltal. Well, I can potentially shut down abilities, which would be something pretty nice if I can get that going. But Trainers Mail, get nothing. Trainers Mail again, grab probably the Parallel City, just to, even though I have this match pretty much locked up due to what I'm against, I'm still just going to play this out, make sure that my opponent has no way of getting back into it with his Lightning type, and then I am going to Y-Cyclone, knock out the Lugia, and then put the DCE onto the Shaymin. Again, keep the Ninja Boy dream alive, take a prize, see what I can get. It's another Shaymin, so yeah, I'm honestly in absolutely no danger at all. I would have kept the DCE on my Yveltal if, one, my opponent didn't have an Electrike down there and a potential Manectric, but okay, he is just going for a charge. That's not a big deal. Yeah, I'm going to be able to knock this thing out with an Evil Ball. So, I mean, this is really just kind of a very round one-ish match. Might as well play the Garbodor, because why the heck not? I could Sycamore, I could N, I could also Shaymin, but I think I'm just going to Sycamore away the resources, because if I can Y-Cyclone onto another Yveltal, then might as well. There's all my Ultra Balls. So what I am going to do, Ultra Ball away, get rid of the Trubbish and one of my other Ultra Balls, grab another Yveltal. I'm going to Y-Cyclone, just in case something absolutely obscure happens. And then Trainers Mail to increase my odds of hitting the Max Elixir, and yeah, my opponent just scoops. Don't blame him at all, kind of wonder why he didn't scoop earlier, but, I mean, yeah. I was playing it way too safe, but again, I really didn't need to. Well, I mean, I played it safe because I could, and because I was just going to steamroll my opponent anyway. I just wanted to make sure that I won and gave them absolutely no, like, minute way of being able to come back. So yeah, we are the first one to finish our match. I'm just going to come back when everybody else is closer to getting into the next round. Alright, we're closing in on the second round. There we go. 10 seconds until the next round begins. And honestly, I really like the change that they made where the next round begins in 10 seconds as opposed to a minute. Make sure that you're paying attention and not just kind of messing around. But we do have a dark and normal deck, and it looks like we are up against a, well, I mean, just based on the coin, it looks like we're up against a pseudo mirror match with the Yveltal coin. But again, I could be wrong, and I say pseudo mirror match because obviously my opponent wouldn't be running Garbodor, otherwise we would see the psychic typing. So I'm interested in what my opponent is going to run, and we might actually get a pretty, never mind, I was about to say we'd get a cheap win because my opponent might be AFK. But, nah, they do win the coin flip, so they do get to go first. I do start with an Yveltal again, and some stuff. If that was a Trubbish and a Float Stone, it'd be fine. If that was a, if it was Trubbish and a Float Stone, I would have started with the Trubbish, attached Float Stone, Max Elixir onto the Yveltal, then Trainer's Mail, try to get a DCE and all that stuff, and then be able to attack. But unfortunately, it is a Garbodor and not a Trubbish, so I am forced to start with my Yveltal and go from there. So, very interested to see what my opponent is running. Sorry if I am yawning. That's because I am tired and not feeling the greatest. But, okay, this is probably a Turbo Dark deck, as opposed to just the Garbodor. And my opponent is just going to Team Skull Grunt immediately, fail that, haha, sucks to be you, and play down a Ditto. That's very, very interesting. But what I am going to do here is Ultra Ball. Probably get rid of the N in the Garbodor just because I want the Trainer's Mail in case I can get something else. Let's grab... Do I want to grab another Yveltal? Okay, how many... Okay, the Ninja Boy's there. How many DCEs? 4 DCEs are in my deck. That is great. Probably just going to grab another... Yeah, because... no. So, Yveltal, Baby Yveltal, Trubbish. I think Trubbish is the play just in case my opponent wants to Shaymin or something like that. Play that there. Go for that. Trainer's Mail, see what I can get. If I had something better on the bench, that'd be fine. But what I am going to do is grab a Sycamore. My opponent didn't show that they had a supporter, so I'm just going to Sycamore, lose that Max Elixir, but that is fine. And I get another Trubbish, so that is phenomenal. Let's play the DCE, play the Fighting Fury Belt, Ultra Ball, get rid of the Float Stone and the other Trubbish to grab probably... Yeah, let's grab this Yveltal, have something else on the bench, play that down there. Shaymin, hopefully draw into some Max Elixirs that I can potentially get something going and get some more energy on the board. I do get that. That is beautiful. Let's play that there. Go ahead and Max Elixir onto my Yveltal. Float Stone up the Shaymin, and yeah, just end the turn right there. I will be able to Evil Ball or Y-Cyclone next turn, depending on what my opponent does. Probably just going to hit me for like 60 damage with a Dark Pulse. My opponent did not show a draw supporter, so I'm hoping that we even see the Bursting Balloon. Okay, so Dark Pulse, that's fine. What I am going to do is... Ooh, I could Ninja Boy into a Tauros. That's a play I could definitely make. Let's go ahead and play the Darkness onto my Yveltal and play the Baby Yveltal down there. Hopefully draw into something. Let's draw 4 more cards off of this Shaymin, maybe some Max Elixirs, something else. I get the Lysandre. Let's Trainers Mail. Ooh, Enhanced Hammer. That works out very, very nicely. Let's get rid of the Darkness Energy. Lysandre in the Ditto, and yeah, knock it out with an Evil Ball. Avoid the Bursting Balloon, and then take a prize. Or do I want to Y Cyclone? I think I'm just gonna go ahead and Evil Ball. Keep the energy on my active Yveltal because I don't think there's a way my opponent can knock me out next turn. And there's a Tauros. So I can't Ninja Boy because both of my Tauros were prized. Otherwise, I'd be able to one-shot this Darkrai. And I need a way to put Tauros into my deck, I think. My opponent is just going to power up the... Or try to power up the Yveltal on the bench with the Max Elixir with it. And there we go. 80 damage. With the Dark Pulse, that is fine. I get another Darkness Energy. So I am just going to go ahead and start powering up my Yveltal that's on the bench. This Yveltal is going to go down, but what I can do is Y Cyclone on her. Y Cyclone or Evil Ball? Evil Ball sets up a 2-hit knockout. I think Y Cyclone's the better play just to save the DCE. And then I'm going to throw that onto my baby Yveltal that is on the bench. Definitely the play right there. I need a way to put Tauros into my deck. That way I can... And, of course, my opponent draws an Enhanced Hammer. Ah, that's annoying. But they top deck the Enhanced Hammer too, so they will be able to knock out the Yveltal. Take 2 prizes. I'll be able to knock out my opponent's Darkrai with my with an Evil Ball this coming turn. So that is a pretty solid play for me. I really want a way to put Tauros in the deck. That way I can Ninja Boy for it. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's a way I can do that. So let's put up the Shaymin with the Float Stone, just so I have options of in case I draw into something good. Do I want to play the Tauros down or like Sycamore for a... Sycamore, hopefully draw into a Super Rod. No, I'm just going to play the Tauros down. Let Sycamore get a brand new hand. And of course I draw into the Super Rod. Oh boy, so I am just going to Super Rod back in 2 energy and my Yveltal. Just, you know, have better odds of hitting a good Max Elixir. And then, do I want to put that... Do I want to hit that, or... What do I want to do? Do I want to Ultra Ball first? Get better odds of hitting a Max Elixir, or do I just want to... You know what? Screw it. I think I'm just going to Max Elixir at this point. Get more energy onto my Yveltal. Which Yveltal? So I think the play is to put more energy onto baby Yveltal. That way I have that option of being able to Pitch Black Spear later. Ultra Ball, get rid of the Darkness Energy, and the Lysandre grab the Garbodor to shut down my opponent's potential abilities, any Shaymin that they might have. I'm just getting rid of that right now. Evil Ball, get rid of my opponent's Darkrai, and take 2 prizes, and we even have the DCE in hand. Okay, I get another Yveltal. And now we are just in a very, very, very nice position. What I can do is, depending on what my opponent plays down, if he plays a DCE, I think I'll be able to knock out... No, because that'll be 160. I'll need a Fighting Fury Belt. We see the Tauros come down. That thing's going to be a pain. Well, I guess it's not going to be a pain because my opponent just scoops, so we do win that match. Yveltal was able to come through. I wasn't able to do the awesome Ninja Boy combo that I wanted to, and the tournament next round is starting in 10 seconds, so I'm not even going to pause the video right now. I'm just going to wait right now because we are obviously in the finals, and yeah, now we are playing the finals against Roger 14996 with another Dark and Normal deck, so this could be another Yveltal Tauros, which seems to be the popular deck, although my opponent is not running Garbodor, obviously. We do win the coin flip. We will get to go first. That is pretty nice for us. See if we can start with something, and wow, we start with something that is very nice. Couple Yveltals, got a Trubbish. Parallel City is Sycamore. I can limit my opponent's bench space, and we even get a couple cards off of Mulligan, so we're going to be in a very, very nice position to start off this game. We do see the PCL and the Kukui. I don't think that'll be much of a problem, and my opponent does play the Parallel City as well, so I'm going to want to play mine down immediately so that he cannot counter mine, and I can limit him to 3 bench spaces all game. I will get a couple mulligan cards. That is very nice. See what I can get off that. And, hey, you know what? I'm just going to play my Yveltal just because. We do see the Tauros. That thing is going to be kind of annoying, so I am just going to play the Fighting Fury Belt onto my active, play the Darkness Energy right there, play the Parallel City, limit my opponent, and then I'm going to end because I want to keep my Enhanced Hammer. I'm probably going to need that Enhanced Hammer for later in the game, and I want to make sure that I have it when I need it. So, not a very explosive start for me, but not a horrible start either. I have an energy, I limit my opponent's bench space, I have Fighting Fury Belt onto my Yveltal, and my opponent's playing Yungoos. Okay, so this is an Yveltal and Gumshoes and Tauros, so it looks like kind of a hodgepodge of, that's a nice word, hodgepodge. A hodgepodge of Yveltal plus cards that can use it. And, okay, what I was going to do was Lysandre in my opponent's Yungoos next turn, but because of that Poison Barb, I really do not want to. So I'm probably just going to attach to my active Yveltal and then Lysandre up my opponent's Yveltal and try to knock that thing and try to just get damage on that thing. Because Tauros, I'm only going to want to attack if I can knock it out in one hit. Or my Yveltal is just damaged to the point where it really doesn't matter what how much I hit it for, because I'm getting it knocked out anyway. I do get a Float Stone. That works. I am just going to play the energy onto the Yveltal. Again, would have brought up the Yungoos if my opponent hadn't played that Poison Barb, but that is solid play by them. I am just going to hit this Yveltal for 70, set it up to be knocked out by a Y-Cyclone next turn, and I think, yeah, I'm in a good board position. My opponent can't damage me with his Yveltal. I can just keep powering up my own Yveltal, and Tauros is not a threat unless I get a bunch of damage on it. If I get a bunch of damage on Tauros, that's when he can start one-shotting things, and we see the Skyla, so I'm wondering what my opponent is going to grab with this Skyla. Okay, a switch. Probably just going to go back into Tauros and hit me with a Horn Attack. That is just fine with me. And, yeah, I mean, Horn Attack is a 3-hit KO. I'm not too worried, because, like I said, as long as you don't damage Tauros, it can't really do much. And I do get a DCE. I'm going to hold on to that, actually. What I can do right here is go ahead and Lysandre in my opponent's Yveltal, knock it out with a Y-Cyclone, put an energy onto my Yveltal that's on the bench, also get a DCE onto it next turn, and take 2 prizes. So I'm in excellent position, up 2 prizes. My opponent will have to bring up Tauros. I'll be able to hit that for a ton of damage next turn with Evil Ball while he's not able to one-shot me. And as long as my opponent doesn't have a Lysandre, I should be okay. But, alright, so we are... So what's the best play? Do I want to Evil Ball or do I want to Y-Cyclone? I think I'm just going to Evil Ball, put the DCE onto my Yveltal that's on the bench, and then go from there, pretty sure. He is powering up the Yungoos in the background, so that means I can't put 4 energy onto an Yveltal. I can only put 3 at a time, because otherwise Gumshoes will be able to knock me out with its GX attack, which is something I'm definitely going to have to watch out for. But my opponent does end me. That's unfortunate because I actually really liked my hand. Either way, I mean, 4 cards, I still have plenty of stuff in my... That's awesome. I'm definitely okay with this. My opponent does hit a double timer ball. It's not a big deal. If he hit one of the 2, then he'd be able to get his Gumshoes anyway. And my opponent already ended me, so he can't disrupt my hand. But he can see that I have a bunch of really nice cards. So, there's that. That was awesome. But either way, I'm going to have to be careful with that Gumshoes because I can't load up an Yveltal, as Gumshoes chance will be able to one-shot me. And my opponent looks at my hand, it really doesn't matter, honestly, because he already ended me, he already disrupted my hand. He just gets to see what I'm working with for next turn. I get to see what he has in the prizes. Nothing of particular note. I mean, there's a DCE, there's a VS Seeker, but I mean, all cards that aren't game-breaking, but also, I mean, it's just that's kind of average prizes. I mean, nothing spectacular, but nothing horrible. And, oh, this is nice. What I can do is... Let's go ahead and Max Elixir onto my Yveltal. I'm actually going to hold on to my DCE. Okay, I whiffed that. And here's the question. Do I want to play the Tauros down because I kind of want to have the chance to Ninja Boy for it. I think... Alright, I'm just going to Shaymin for 4. I'm going to hold on to the Tauros and the DCE. I think that's the better play. See if I can somehow get a Ninja Boy. Because if I get a Ninja Boy this turn, I would have been able to knock out this Tauros with a Mad Bull GX. And then rage my opponent's Gumshoos, although he would have been able to hit me. Would have been able to knock me out anyway. But I am just going to Ultra Ball, get rid of the... Get rid of the Garbodor and the Ultra Ball. Okay, the other Tauros is in my deck. My Enhanced Hammer is there. So is the Ninja Boy. So that play is alive. The Tauros Ninja Boy play is still alive. I am just going to play the Tauros down because I have the other Tauros in my deck, I think. If I just had the one Tauros, I wouldn't play it down because I want to have the Ninja Boy. But because the other Tauros is down there, I am just going to play that. Play another Shaymin, get 5 more cards. If I can get my Enhanced Hammer, that would set me up for a great turn this turn. And, oh, booyah. So I Enhanced Hammer away, get rid of that DCE, and then I am just going to Evil Ball, hit that Tauros for a ton of damage, set it up for a 2-hit knockout. Next turn with another Evil Ball from my Yveltal that is on the bench. And yeah, so in a solid position. I have Tauros set up, I have 2 Yveltal set up. This Yveltal will be going down. However, it's not the end of the world. My opponent does get another Tauros, and yeah, they see that I have 2 VS Seekers, so they're probably just going to end me out of this hand. That's not a big deal. I will be able to knock out... Oh, no, I need another energy to be able to knock out this Tauros next turn with Evil Ball. So that is... I mean, I'm going to get 5 cards off the N, so I should be able to draw into something to get me another energy. I mean, one would think. But either way, my opponent is... So he's going to be able to take 2 prizes for sure this turn on my Yveltal. Hopefully I can draw into an N and then get a way to knock out his Tauros and be in a good position. Because Gumshoos can only hit me for a ton of damage if he gets... if I load up one of my Pokemon. So Gumshoos is not something I have to worry about. He does just attach a regular energy onto his Gumshoos GX to be able to use the Gumshoe chance later if he needs to. Only 1 DCE is gone through, 1 DCE is in the prizes. We do see the Umbreon as well. So my opponent will just rage. That's an excellent idea. Knock out this Yveltal. Save your GX attack for later. If my opponent had a Lysandre, I would assume he would try to knock out my Yveltal on the bench because the headbutt, the jumping headbutt, I think is what Gumshoos' attack is, would be able to knock out this one of my Yveltals anyway. So would be able to knock out the damaged Yveltal. So I'm looking to see what my opponent's going to grab. I'm thinking, oh, just grabs the DCE and a Darkness Energy. That's fine. I am going to go into this Yveltal, play the regular Darkness onto it. I obviously can't put the DCE onto it, otherwise Gumshoe Chance will be able to knock me out. And then I am just going to end my opponent down to 4 cards, while I get 4 cards as well. And I get another Parallel City. Not a big deal. And honestly, Parallel City isn't coming in as clutch as I would have wanted it to. But I am just going to Evil Ball, knock out the Tauros, take 2 more prizes, and yeah, just be 1 knockout away from winning this game. I get a Max Elixir. That'd be nice if I had another Yveltal on the bench. But unfortunately, I do not, and this is an interesting spot. So I have my Tauros powered up. My opponent's going to be able to Gumshoe Chance, hit me for 160. And, how am I going to play this out? Because Gumshoe Chance 160, okay, if I get a Fighting Fury Belt, I'll be able to live the poison. But if not, I will have to just hit my opponent for a good amount of damage, let the Yveltal go down, let my opponent take 2 prizes going into his turn. Ooh, and then I'll put the Tauros up, because if my opponent attacks the Tauros, I still have my Mad Bull GX attack to be able to win the game. So what I think I'm going to do, yeah, that is... Sorry, I just realized I was talking very, very fast right there. But my opponent is almost 100% going to go for a Gumshoe Chance this turn. Going to get damage onto my Gonna set my Yveltal up to be knocked out going back into my opponent's turn. That's definitely my opponent's best play. Unless I'm missing something. But yeah, my opponent... Trainers Mail grabs a VS Seeker. If my opponent will end me this turn. However, I should have... I mean, I'll still have an attack regardless. I just don't necessarily know if it'll be an attack for the damage that I want. Because Gumshoe Chance, like I said, will set me up to be one shot by... will set me up to be knocked out going into his turn if I attack with Poison Barb. So Poison Barb has actually put in a ton of work for my opponent this game. I mean, it has deterred me attacking that Gumshoes. It deterred me from knocking out the Young Goose. It's deterring me from attacking the Gumshoes, or at least making me think about it, and allowing my opponent to take 2 more prizes going into his turn. And I get Yveltal Ultra Ball. That's nothing that I want. So what I think is going to happen... Yeah, my opponent does go for the Gumshoe Chance GX. That is actually phenomenal because he can't go for a Raging Bull anymore. That is very nice. What I think I'm going to do... I could play stuff in my hand. But I think what the play is to go ahead and Evil Ball. Get 100 damage on the Gumshoes. And then let my opponent get the knockout. Yeah, let's go ahead. I think Evil Ball. Go ahead, let my opponent get the knockout. Go into Tauros, because if Tauros takes a hit, I win. I mean, even just a... Well, I guess a Horn Attack would only let me hit for... A Fighting Fury Belted Horn Attack would... Well, I guess a regular Horn Attack would have let me knock out his Tauros, but a Fighting Fury Belted Horn Attack would not let me take the knockout on his Tauros. So my opponent... Oh, obviously he has a Fighting Fury Belt on his Tauros already, so that's just kind of a non-issue. If my opponent attacks my Tauros with the Gumshoes, I win. Because I'll be able to Mad Bull GX, take the knockout, and take the win from there. So my opponent really has to decide what they want to do. Because if they attack me with Gumshoes, I win. If they attack me with Tauros and I draw into a VS, and I draw into a... they attack me with Tauros and I draw into a Fighting Fury Belt, I win. So I just need, and my opponent just VS Secret for a Skyless, so we won't Lysandre anything in this turn. So this is a very interesting situation. Both my opponent and I have attack deterrence on both sides because he obviously has the Poison Barb. Oh, the Poison Barb could come in huge for me because I can get extra damage on my Tauros to where even a Fighting Fury Belted Horn Attack will put me in range of being able to knock out my opponent with a Mad Bull GX. So really, I just kind of have to sit back and let Tauros take hits until I'm able to win this game. Until Mad Bull GX is able to clean up the game. So, yeah, excellent, excellent spot. We do see the Skyla for the Lysandre. So I guess that's what my opponent's going to go for next turn. Unless my opponent has a DCE. He is just going to search the premises, see that I just have absolutely nothing in my hand, and we're going to go from there. So this is... This is a very interesting spot. So, I get a Ninja Boy. Oh, I think I can do something really, really cheeky right here. I have enough cards in my hand to be able to pull this off. Should I... No. I want to Ultra Ball thin... Should I thin out my deck? I want to make sure there's a Pokemon so I can't just, like, whiff the Ninja Boy. But I can't... Yeah, I'm going to Ninja Boy, put a Shaymin back. And then I'll be able to Ultra Ball back for the Shaymin. It really doesn't matter what I put down. I think, yeah, let's just go ahead and put down the Tauros because it really doesn't matter. Put the Shaymin back into my deck. Ultra Ball, get rid of the Float Stone and the Frat Knight Yveltal to grab the Shaymin to get 6 more cards, and oh, this is fantastic. This is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm in a great, great position right now. I really need the Fighting Fury Belt. Oh, I get the Super Rod. So I think let's Super Rod back in Yveltal, 2 Yveltal, and an Energy, I think. Yeah, just because I mean, Yveltal would be a nice attacker late game. Let's go ahead and Max Elixir onto my Tauros. Let's Max Elixir again, see if I can double hit it. I do not. And honestly, I don't know why I put 2 Yveltal back in the deck. I'm just going to Trainers Mail, grab the Kukui, I think. No, let's grab the Lysandre. That way, I'm gonna Horn Attack this Gumshoes right now. And unless my opponent ends me out of my hand, I showed him that I do have the win for next turn. So let's go ahead, Horn Attack the Gumshoes. And even if my opponent, Fighting Fury Belt, Horn Attacks the Tauros, the poison is actually going to help me because I will be able to, because that would put me in range of being able to one-shot his Tauros with a Mad Bull GX. So I'm in a very, very excellent spot right now. I can, let's see, what can I do? So he's just gonna search the premises, see that I have a Lysandre, Parallel City, and a Sycamore. The Parallel City doesn't matter at all at this point, just because, I mean, my opponent plays it, I play it, there's no way he's gonna get rid of it. We do know that he has a Lysandre, so he needs an energy to be able to retreat his Gumshoes or a switch. And then he's gonna Lysandre in. Okay, I actually completely agree with this play by my opponent. That is a very, very smart play. He's gonna Lysandre in the Shaymin, probably retreat his Gumshoes into his Tauros, and then Horn Attack me to set up a 2-hit knockout on my Shaymin, while also preventing my Tauros from being able to Mad Bull GX for the win. I completely agree. Fortunately, I top decked the win, so yeah, definitely not sure why I put the Yveltals back in my deck. I really should have just put all energy back in. That way I could look out for the Lysandre play. But yeah, Lysandre back in the Gumshoes, Horn Attack it for the win, take my last 2 prizes, and boom, we just won a 24-ticket tournament with Yveltal Tauros. Now, I know this is literally just like, okay, Sticks, you just took the best deck in the format and threw the most splashable card from Sun and Moon in there. And yeah, you're right, but if you enter a 24-ticket tournament, you enter it with a deck that you think can win it all. And this is technically a Sun and Moon deck because we're throwing Tauros in there. Maybe, please, let me have this one. But yeah, we do get a very nice amount of packs. Get a couple Roaring Skies. And you know what? I could save these packs for trade, but I'm just going to open them all, see what else I can get. Because, I mean, the spoils of victory, right? Or the spoils of war. But, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. And this is Sticks, signing out. Why not? See you guys.